Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host Louis Carlin, or her right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter at Shooting Up North, Instagram at Alliance PW Network, and feel free to join our Facebook group, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. And just want to say it one more time, if you're watching for the first time, or if you watched the channel before and you don't subscribe and you enjoy the content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. The subscribers are growing almost on a daily basis, and I really appreciate it. So if you're enjoying all this content, it's mainly Impact Wrestling, but I'm going to be getting into other stuff as well. Really into Pro Wrestling Noah and DDD Pro these days, so we might be seeing some podcasts on those promotions in the future or very, very soon. But if you're enjoying the content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget, in case you haven't checked out my interview with Steve Macklin, Impact Wrestling superstar Steve Macklin, it's up now on the channel, conducted last Tuesday. Check it out, my interview with Impact Wrestling superstar Steve Macklin. Okay, so let's get into this Impact Wrestling news, notes, and opinions for January 21st, weekend edition, I guess you could call it. This is a news, notes, and opinions, Impact Wrestling. So let's get into it. First and foremost, let me pull up the notes here. I should have them in front of me before I get started. That would be the smart thing. So, Impact Wrestling New Year's resolution. There's no spoilers. I just to point it out, this is a spoiler-free podcast. But last night was Impact Wrestling TV taping, New Year's Revolution. Tonight they're taping another TV taping, New Year's Revolution in Orlando, Florida. But last night's TV taping was sold out. It was sold out. They let some more people in, but there was standing room only spots. So the taping was sold out. So we had the last time Hard to Kill was sold out. The Atlanta TV taping, I'm pretty sure I read it was sold out as well. And now the Orlando TV taping last night was sold out. So Impact Wrestling really doing it. They're really getting the fan base is starting to really grow again. And it's great to see the word Impact Wrestling has sold out over and over again. So we're seeing a lot of that in the last couple of weeks, and it's great to see. And I know Rebellion tickets are on sale now. Rebellion is almost sold out. When I look, Sacrifice is just about so they're selling out. Impact Wrestling is selling out. So this is great news, and very, very excited. They deserve it. Impact Wrestling deserves it. Impact Wrestling is just knocking it out of the park. Their locker room is absolutely fantastic. People are starting to realize it now. People are starting to go to the shows and get vocal. They're not being quiet anymore. They're watching. They're getting excited. Impact Wrestling is on the rise, and I'm very, very happy to hear that. So tonight's TV taping, actually. I know I went over it before in a past podcast, but tonight the matches for tonight for that have been announced for tonight's TV taping: X Division champion Trey Miguel versus Crazy Steve in a Monsters Ball match. Hopefully that'll be the last Trey Miguel Crazy Steve match. Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the Motor City Machine Guns versus Mike Bailey and Jonathan Gresham. That should be absolutely fantastic. Tommy Dreamer and Mickie James versus Jason Hodge and John Schuyler. And Cody Deaner or Deaner and Callahan versus Yuya Omura and Frankie Kazarian. And then we have Chris Bay one-on-one with Kushida, which should be an absolutely outstanding match. So that's tonight at the TV taping, Impact Wrestling New Year Revolution. And hopefully it'll be sold out tonight as well. I would imagine it's going to get sold out. If it was sold out last night, I could imagine, I could only guess that it's going to be sold out tonight as well. But I love reading about the sellout. So Impact Wrestling on the rise, baby. Everyone is starting to realize, hey, Impact Wrestling is actually pretty good. Like they can start saying that, about 4 months ago, I was saying, oh, another nail in the coffin of Impact Wrestling. And then, like, wait a minute, I just watched an episode of Impact Wrestling. This is awesome. Let's pull all those nails out of the coffin and open that. Let's get rid of that coffin because Impact Wrestling's going nowhere. It's staying. yeah, but great stuff. Very, very happy to hear and read that Impact Wrestling is selling out the TV tapings, and maybe it's time. Who knows? Maybe it's time to start looking at some bigger arenas, some bigger venues. If the demand is there, hey, let's get to some bigger venues, guys. One step at a time. One step at a time. Okay, so last night on Impact Wrestling, I'm sorry, Thursday night on Impact Wrestling. I watched it this morning. Bully Ray and Mickie James got into it. And I'm hoping this whole Mickie James Bully Ray thing, I hope it kind of leads to maybe Bully Ray, attacking Mickie James during one of the TV shows or one of the TV tapings, and she saved by Nick Aldis. Hopefully this is the way they're going to bring Nick Aldis in. I really hope Nick Aldis is coming to Impact Wrestling. I think he'll be a great addition. I'd welcome Nick Aldis with open arms. I'm sure the locker room would welcome Nick Aldis as well. But I'm hoping this Bully Ray Mickie James thing, I hope it's leading to the debut of Nick Aldis. So as in case you don't know, Nick Aldis is Mickie James' husband. They're married. So hopefully the Mickie James Bully Ray storyline hopefully it leads to Nick Aldis coming in to make the save or to help out Mickie James, and then we'll have a Nick Aldis Bully Ray feud, which I think will be fantastic. Speaking of Bully Ray, Devon Dudley, as we know, if you were reading the news, he's actually no longer with the WWE. He was working as a producer. He asked for his release, and he was released, or he decided to step down, and he's no longer with the WWE. When it was announced, Bully Ray put up a think emoji, So and he also Bully Ray also said that he would I think I read somewhere that Bully Ray said that him and Devon, they want to get together for one more run. So hey, I mean, one more run in Impact Wrestling. I mean, I think it would be fantastic. Although, Devon Dudley did have a stroke not too long ago, a few years ago, I think. And hopefully he's 100%, or hopefully he's able to step in the ring again. But we'll see. But maybe we'll see Devon Dudley coming back to Impact Wrestling in some capacity, whether it's a wrestler with Bully Ray or whether it's a backstage producer. Maybe we'll see Devon back with Impact Wrestling very, very soon. Again, no guarantees. I haven't heard anything, but I'm just thinking Bully Ray. Actually, let me pull up here. Let me pull Bully Ray up here. Let me just see if I can get an exact quote from Bully Ray. I don't want to give incorrect information. So let me pull up the news here. Bully Ray. Okay, so yeah, the Dudley Boys teased possible reunion. Could the fans be hearing the catchphrase Devon get the tables once again in the future? It certainly seems that way based on a recent tweet. This is Wrestling Inc. From each of the Dudley Boys, Bully Ray and Devon coming in the wake of news that the latter had parted ways with the WWE. Devon parted ways with the WWE, as I mentioned. He was working as a producer for WWE NXT. Yeah, so Bully Ray actually reacted to Devon indicating that he parted ways with the WWE with a thinking emoji, as I mentioned. And I don't know, I didn't know this. Devon responded back, "Oh, my brother, testify." And then Bully shared a photo of the two men together, covered in tag team titles that they've won over the years. Doesn't indicate here. Okay, so oh yeah, okay, so he suffered a stroke back in 2021, and has dealt with a few health issues, Devon, as I mentioned, and that may restrict him from action, which is understandable. He had a stroke in 2021, so we won't expect a full-time return for Devon to the ring if he returns at all. Of course, his health is the number one priority, but nonetheless, I mean, I'd be okay with him in Impact Wrestling as a producer. I wouldn't mind if he could do the one more table spot. If he had one more table spot left in item with Bully Ray, that would be I'd be okay with that as well. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Interesting that he's available now, and Bully Ray would love to reunite with him. So we'll see. We'll keep our eyes on it. We'll see, but only if he's healthy. Only if you're healthy, Devon. Don't But he knows that. I don't know. But anyway, okay. So let's Gail Kim. Gail Kim. She pitched a she recently pitched an Impact Wrestling Knockouts versus Stardom crossover event, which got me very, very excited. I would absolutely love to see the stars of Impact Wrestling, of the Knockouts division, Deonna Purrazzo, Masha Slamovich, Killer Kelly, Taya Valkyrie, Rosemary, Tasha Steeles. I would love to see them taking on the likes of Kari, Mayu Iwatani, Tom Nakano, Julia, Mariah May, and I got to look at this name here because it's a long one, Utami Hayashishita. I would love to see the Impact Wrestling Knockouts division taking on the Stardom promotion. I think that would be an absolutely tremendous idea. I think if they did it, it would have to be. I would think it would have to be in Japan. It could be a pay-per-view. It could. Oh, I heard somebody ringing the bell. Sorry about that. I'm expecting a package from Amazon, so I thought I heard somebody ringing the bell, but that was the pause button. Nobody was ringing the bell. Okay, it's just my imagination. But that would be great. That would be great. I'm waiting for an NWA book. Okay, new National Wrestling Alliance, a history of the National Wrestling Alliance. In case anybody's wondering, what are you getting? It's the book, the National Wrestling Alliance, history of the National Wrestling Alliance. So that's what I'm waiting on. But I would love to see Impact Wrestling, the Knockouts division, taking on the Stars of Stardom. I think that would be terrific. And she pitched the idea. Whether it would happen, I don't know if it would happen or not. I don't know how close it is. So it's actually Gail Kim said I have kind of pitched. I wanted a Stardom Knockouts pay-per-view. That was my thing that I kind of threw in the bucket. So it's something I have to push a little harder for, obviously. But we do get a little busy, and we're always constantly planning the next show. But I know the fans want to see another all-women's pay-per-view. I would love to see that. Last Knockouts Knockdown was great, and Power was great. That Mickie ran, and now Mickie is part of our company. Mickie James as well. Mickie James will be a part of that as well. I left her name out. I don't know why. I'm sorry, Mickie James. So I would love to see collaborations again with some of the companies, and Stardom was at the top of my list. I think that would create great interest. There may be some collaboration from other companies of women. There's so many women out there right now, and I think it's a great chance to give them all a platform. And I couldn't agree more. I want a Stardom versus Impact Wrestling Knockouts pay-per-view. That would be outstanding. That would be outstanding. If like Mickie James defending against Mayu Iwatani would be just thrilling. It'll be a thrilling match. Kari defending the IWGP Women's Championship against Deonna Purrazzo would be outstanding. Tasha Steeles against like a Julia, or Tasha Steeles against Mariah May. They have Tam Nakano against Killer Kelly. The list is endless, and I think it would be just wonderful if they could pull that off. And she said it's something she'll have to push a little harder for, so just push. Come on, Gail Kim, let's push hard and get that done. I think that will be fantastic. I think that will bring a lot of eyes, a lot of attention to the Impact Wrestling Knockouts division, and people will see, oh, the Impact Wrestling Knockouts are awesome. Maybe I should start watching Impact Wrestling, and that'll bring them to the whole product, and then they'll see the likes of Josh Alexander and Steve Macklin and Sami Callihan and the rest of the stars of Impact Wrestling. I think it would be just fantastic. I would love to see it in Japan, as they said. I think with Japan, they could get into a big arena. Like I could see them bringing this. If they did this in Japan, it would probably be at Korakuen Hall, not the biggest arena, but it would be at Korakuen Hall. The legendary Korakuen Hall would be a perfect venue for this, or they could bring it here to the States, but they would have to have a decent venue, not like a Atlanta Center Stage or anything like that. They'd have to have like an actual. They could bring it to New York. It could be at there's a I can't remember the name, but there's a few places in New York where they can have it. Well, they can have one in Japan and one here in the States as well. But it's something that I would absolutely love to see, and I hope it becomes a reality. I hope Gail Kim she works her magic and she makes this a reality. Because of Stardom is owned by Bushi Road owned New Japan Pro Wrestling, so there's a connection there. Impact Wrestling has a connection with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Maybe they can speak to Bushi Road and we could get something done with Stardom. But I absolutely will love to see this happen, and hopefully it does. All right, so next week on Impact Wrestling. I lost. Oh, there's the tweet. Next week on Impact Wrestling. Here are the matches that are signed for next week. Or Jonathan Gresham taking on Sheldon Jean. I don't know if anybody remembers Sheldon Jean. Sheldon Jean, former wrestler from Pro Wrestling Noah. He was up and coming here in Canada, in Ontario. He made a few appearances a couple of years back for Impact Wrestling when they were in Windsor. He lots and lots of potential. He got injured. I think he stepped away. I don't know the whole story, so I can't speak on it, but I think he stepped away for a bit. I think he did some TV or something. I'm not 100% sure, but it appears that he's back now. He's great potential. Good to see Sheldon Jean back, and next week he takes on Jonathan Gresham, one-on-one. Jonathan Gresham, of course, not going to lose, but it's good to see Sheldon Jean back. And next week, we're going to have Brian Myers and Matt Cardona taking on Ace Austin and Chris Bay. We have Jessica Havoc, Taya Valkyrie versus wait a minute, the Death Dolls. Okay, I'm sorry. So it's going to be the Death Dolls versus Giselle Shaw and a mystery partner. So we don't know who that partner is going to be. We'll find out next week. And then we have the Golden Six Shooter, where it's a number one contenders match. All former champions: Moose, Eddie Edwards, Sammy Callahan, Rich Swann, Rhino, Chris Sabin, all competing in this match. And the winner of this match, is this elimination? It doesn't say if it's an elimination match or not. But the winner of the match, I think it's an elimination match. I'm thinking this, for some reason, I'm thinking this is an elimination match. But the winner of the match becomes a number one contender and will face Josh Alexander at No Surrender. And then we have a match that not really too thrilled about, right? I'm sorry, I'm gonna end it on a negative note. Trey Miguel defends the X Division Championship against Mike Jackson. Why are they doing this? Why is Mike Jackson getting an X Division title shot? Okay, Mike Jackson was in the pre-show, Hard to Kill pre-show. He did his thing. He walked around the ring holding somebody's arm. Okay, we got a novelty of Mike Jackson. But why is he getting an X Division title shot? This spot could have gone to, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, right? I don't want to beat a dead horse. I don't want to keep repeating myself. I don't want to become monotonous. But this is a spot that could go to like an Alec Price. This is a spot that could go to Titus Alexander. This is a spot that could go to Aiden Prince. This Trey Miguel. They could have just had him say, I'm the best. There's nobody. I'll face anybody. And they could have had Alec Price show up and say, I'd like a shot, right? And Trey Miguel against Alec Price would have been absolutely outstanding. And then they could have introduced Alec Price to the Impact Wrestling world, Impact Wrestling fans, and Alec Price I would have done, if I was booking it, I would have had Alec Price not get squashed, but Alec Price become like that close to becoming the X Division champion, And I would have put over Alec Price in this one, because Alec Price is someone that Impact Wrestling should have on their roster. They should be looking at Alec Price or Titus Alexander, one of the two. We're going to stick with one of those two. Titus Alexander or Alec Price should be in this spot, not Mike Jackson. He's going to get a few cheers. He's going to hit a drop kick. He's going to hit a flying body press. He might get a headlock in. He might walk around the ring for 5 minutes on the top rope with holding Trey Miguel's arm. But I'm just not feeling the whole Mike Jackson thing. Even the graphic, he's 73 years old. Does anybody really think that Mike Jackson's going to become the X Division champion? Is there really a push here for Mike Jackson? I'm sorry, but I think this is the mistake. I'm sorry, it's a mistake. It's a mistake on the part of Impact Wrestling. And you could agree with me or disagree with me. That's fine. You're entitled. But this is a spot that should be going to somebody who's young, that somebody that Impact Wrestling could take a good look at, that somebody that's Impact Wrestling, hey, you might want to sign for the next 2-3 years and have them on Impact Wrestling roster on a regular basis. That's the spot that this could go to. There's no history with Trey Miguel and Mike Jackson. There's no nothing going on between them. Like I said, I would have had Trey Miguel after the doing the little that little spot, the little backstage segment with Ashley D'Amboise or D'Ambois. I'm sure one of those pronunciations, right? I would have had him say, get into it with her and say, I'm the X Division champion. No one comes close to me. You're from the indie scene. You're not signed here. There's nobody on the indie scene right now. Him talking, Trey Miguel talking to Ashley, saying you're from the indie scene. You got squashed by Deonna Purrazzo. See, if anybody came from the indie scene and wanted a shot at this title, I would squash them the way Deonna Purrazzo squashed you. Then I would have had Alec Price come out and say, I'd like a shot. I'm out. And then who are you? I'm Alec Price. I'd like a shot next week. And then Trey Miguel says, you want a shot? You got it. And then next week, Trey Miguel, Alec Price for the X Division Championship. We would have an absolute banger of a match. That's what they should have done. Sorry, man. That's what they should have done. But hey, Trey Miguel, Mike Jackson next week. All right. So we're going to leave it at that for now. Sorry, I didn't mean to bang. I didn't mean to, my computer shook. But I didn't mean to bang my hand on the table. But we're going to leave it at that for now. Okay, so anything else breaks, any news comes along, I'll be back. But until then, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. Hit that subscribe button. Check out the Steve Macklin interview and check out the Mickie James interview from 2 weeks ago while you're at it. But until I'm back, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. And stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.